Hi, this is Jeannie. Welcome to Mimicraft, your home for all things creative and DIY on a budget. I make all the mistakes so you don't have to. If you like what you see in this video today, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and today we're going to start with a Pinterest dupe of a clock. 281 bucks? I don't think so. You're going to need some wood glue. This is Dollar Tree's version. And of course, Dollar Tree's Tumbling Tower blocks. Start by gluing 147 blocks, 21 wide by 7 high. There's a block missing in the middle because I was originally going to place the clockworks on the back, but that did not work out. Next, fill in all flaws and crevices with either spackle or wood filler. I knew I was going to paint this, so I used spackle. Note that I flipped this over first because the side facing the work surface is always the most even. This looks like a ginormous light switch cover. If you don't want to use a spatula, you can use a damp rag to apply the spackle. I like to use old t-shirts. Remove excess spackle before sanding. Now paint the clock face and sides. I prefer chalk paint. This is Waverly in the color ink. Glue together 4 sets of 6. Flip them over to the right side and spackle your brains out. Don't forget to sand them. Glue these 4 pieces on their narrow side to form a square. Turn the clock face right side down. Center the square you just made on the back and mark where it needs to be glued. Apply glue and, spoiler alert, glue into place. I recommend placing something heavy over it while it dries. Paint the areas seen on screen. These are the only ones that'll show from the front. It should look something like this. Glue together 8 sets of 7. Deja vu. Paint all but one narrow side of each of these sets. I'm using Apple Barrel's Nutmeg. I decided to seal all of these now. I could not tell you why. It's much easier to seal them after they're already glued on, but I used wax and sealed all but the unpainted sides. Now for the clock numbers. You're going to make a 6, a 1, and a 2. You'll need 6 blocks for the number 6, 2 blocks for the number 1, and 5 blocks for the number 2. Just follow the video for placement. Apparently, redundancy is my superpower. This time I hand sanded, like a peasant. Paint the numbers with nutmeg brown as well. Now let's assemble this bad boy. Starting from the outside, use a tumbling tower block as a spacer to place each of the brown block sets on both sides of the clock. Glue them down and wax them up. An acrylic sealer like Mod Podge would work really well too. This is the clock I used. I bought it from Amazon last year for about 12 bucks. I determined my clock placement before I glued the numbers down. As you can see here, the hands are too long. The clock hands are very thin, and I was able to cut them down to the right size with a pair of scissors. Use a pencil to mark the placement. Next, center your numbers and glue them down as seen on screen. This is the back of the clock mechanism. The hanger is the upside down V at the top. Place a small nail in the clock face so that the clock will line up with the markings you made earlier. A command strip would be much easier, but I didn't have any. To hang the clock, place 2 nails in the wall and use the ledge on the back of the clock to hang it. You can also use 2 D-rings or a sawtooth hanger. And this is how mine turned out. For our second project, we're going to dupe some Pinterest plant stands. We'll be making a mini version of these. You'll need 48 blocks for the smallest plant stand. Glue together 10 sets of 2. When completely dry, glue them in the pattern you see on screen. Place the last set so that the top and bottom widths are even. You'll notice one sideways U shape is a little narrower. Repeat with the other 5 blocks. Glue together 2 sets of 14 blocks as seen on screen. These will be the shelves. Fill in all the seams with either wood filler or spackle. This time I decided to use wood filler. Sand everything as smooth as a baby's bottom. Paint the frames black. And paint the shelves white. I used Waverly brand chalk paint in the color Snow White. To assemble the shelves, place each bracket in the opposite direction, narrow sides down. Place glue across the long end of the shelf. Place the shelf so that it lines up with the top edge of the bottom of the bracket. Place glue along the long edge of the remaining shelf. Place this shelf so that it is even with the top edge of the top of the bracket. Place glue on the opposite ends of the shelves. Place remaining bracket on top of shelves, making sure it aligns with the other bracket. This is how it should look from the side. Place a book or another heavier object on top while it dries. When it's completely dry, seal it up. For the second stand, you'll need 70 blocks. Glue together 14 sets of 2 blocks. Each side will require 7 sets. Glue these blocks together in the same pattern as you did with the smaller set. Make 3 shelves this time by gluing 3 sets of 14 together. You know the drill. this view I rotated the project to the right. Hope it helps. The skinnier U-shape is to the left this time. I used paint containers in a square to make sure the shelves would be straight while they dried. Skipping one shelf was a design choice I made to allow room for larger decor.
And isn't it ironic, don't you think?
And it should look something like this. The last shelf will require 92 blocks, 18 sets of 2, and 4 sets of 14. And this is how mine turned out. Aren't they fun? Here's a side-by-side comparison. I decided to paint the clock to match, but it gave me a certain vibe. And here's the projects all together. What do you think? Black and white or black and brown? Let me know in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching. You're such a blessing to me. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a like and leave a comment, even an emoji if you want to. Until the next one, bye!